All right, the Saddlemen Touring Step Up. Let's talk about it. All right, what's going on YouTube? FXDLS Brooklyn is back in the building. And this has been a seat that a lot of y'all have been asking me to do a more thorough video on ever since y'all saw me running this seat on the Lowrider ST that Harley Davidson had sent me back in the fall, right? I got a lot of questions specifically about this seat because even now, you know, this seat's been out for, I think, at least a year now. Y'all know the situation. We see a lot of this seat, right? This is the Saddlemen SDC Pro. And there's a good reason for that. You know, by far, this is probably my favorite seat on the market right now. I've been running this seat for years. I got tens of thousands of miles on this seat and it's been amazing. I've always wanted a white seat. I like the way that white seats look, especially on black bikes. I don't know how it's gonna look on my bike, just given how much white is already on there, but I was like, you know, the seats that they make are beautiful. I really think the white seats that they make are beautiful, especially this one with that black stitching. So we went with this. But again, this video is more just about the performance of the seat, but aesthetically, Saddlemen's gonna look the best. You know, the angles, the contours of the seat, it's so aesthetically pleasing, by far looks better than any other seat out there. And at the end of the day, it's gonna be miles better than your stock seat. While we're on aesthetics, to the untrained eye, right, if you're not somebody that typically runs a step-up seat, then these two seats, you might not even notice the difference, right? So again, the comparison I'm using right now is the Saddlemen SDC Pro. That's typically what I run, and that's probably the most popular Saddlemen seat out right now for good reason. So in terms of differences aesthetically, well, the biggest difference is obviously the passenger pavilion, right? So this seat has a significantly wider passenger pavilion than the SDC Pro does, right? So you're gonna notice that. It also does not have the gripper material on the back, so you'll notice that. You don't have that SDC labeling. The contour in the back is also a little bit different. So aesthetically, like I said, to the untrained eye, they both look like step-up seats, but at closer inspection, there are some pretty big differences between them aesthetically. Now getting into performance. I'm going to talk about what this is designed for first, which is someone who does a lot of two-up riding, and maybe your passenger is doing a lot of complaining about how that step-up seat just ain't comfortable. Their butt's hurting by the end of the day, their back's hurting, they are not happy on a ride that is 50 miles or more, and you know, that's making you not happy, right? So if you're someone that is doing a lot of two-up riding and you like running your step-up seat and you haven't found a way to make it work, you don't have to go to the old man sofa seat, right? This is the solution for that type of rider. That's what this seat provides. You get significantly more surface area on this seat than you are on their traditional step-up or the SDC Pro. So that's probably the biggest win of the touring step-up. I would most recommend this seat for someone who does a lot of two-up riding and has a passenger where a standard step-up seat just ain't cutting it. So that's probably the biggest win of this seat is, again, it's built for the rider that wants to have a comfortable passenger, that wants to put in the miles, because you know what they say, the couple that rides together stays together. So again, you want your passenger to be comfortable. So now what I will talk about is as a rider, right? You sitting in the seat. So again, to the untrained rider, like if this would be your first step-up seat, you probably wouldn't notice the difference between how these two seats sit. They both have a pretty aggressive step up, right? They both have the contour coming up. They both sit very similarly, right? So again, if you've never run a step up before, you're probably not going to be able to tell the difference. But for me personally, I have probably about 100,000 miles on various different step-up seats at this point in my riding career, and I very much do notice the difference. So me personally, I feel way more locked in to my SDC Pro, and I actually feel a little bit more comfortable on my SDC Pro, and that's probably because of the gripper material, and I think just also, I don't know what it is. You know, I'll have to have Saddlemen write in. They're great. They're super responsive. Excellent company. Hit them up on Instagram, but I'll have to have them right in because the seats do feel differently, and me as a rider, I feel more comfortable and more locked in on the SDC Pro. That's just me, right? But again, what I will say is on this seat, the touring step up, I would still be comfortable riding cross country with this seat. So like the difference is negligible, but again, if I had my choice, and again, we're splitting hairs at this point, I'm gonna go with my SDC Pro, right? Aesthetically, I don't care. Like aesthetically, I feel like they both look really good, but as the rider putting in a heavy mile day, I'm probably gonna be going with my Saddlemen SDC Pro over this. And again, that's just coming from being a rider. One thing that I will tell you, and again, this is somebody that's put heavy 2-up miles on both seats, is for me and my lady Jenny, she actually, you might find this surprising, but she actually finds this seat, the Saddlemen SDC Pro, more comfortable than this. She says this because I actually got this SDC Pro seat with the gel padding in the back, and she just really can't get enough of that plush feeling of that gel padding. Now again, the disclaimer here is she ain't the biggest girl, right? So she doesn't necessarily need this much surface area. So again, what works for us might be a different thing for you. But again, my own anecdotal, like if you do have a passenger that's kind of on the smaller side of the spectrum, you might actually find that the SDC Pro with gel padding is actually going to be more comfortable than this Saddlemen Touring Step Up. However, I do have friends that do have passengers and have tested this, and their passengers just see a night and day difference between these two. Saddlemen's got you covered with the Saddlemen Touring Step Up. Give it a try. I think you'll like it. And again, even if you don't like it, the differences between the two seats are negligible. And hey, at the end of the day, the couple that rides together stays together, like I said. So you want to keep your passenger happy. Happy passenger is a happy rider. So whether you're riding solo or whether you're riding 2-up, I'll have the link in the description. As always, shout out to Saddlemen for supporting the channel. There just ain't no seat out there like a Saddlemen. They've been doing it forever. Go with Saddlemen. Run an SDC Pro, run a Touring Step Up. You can't go wrong. But as always, if you are in the market for either of these seats, like I said, I do have a lot of experience and miles on them. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And that's it, y'all. Stay safe, stay low, stay comfortable, keep your passenger comfortable, and on that, FXDLS Brooklyn is out.